Good morning, good afternoon, or even good evening, CGC 1D. I hope that you're all doing well. I know this is a very different format to see me in. You're probably used to seeing me up at the front of the class. We have a smart board. We have our huge computer lab that's, it's very beneficial for this type of work. But unfortunately, the way that the school year is going to be proceeding for now, you're going to be receiving online lessons from me, Mr. Dobson. Today's lesson is going to be something called an asynchronous activity or a lesson, where you don't have to do the lesson at the same time as, say for example, someone else, or at the same time as how you would be doing it synchronously in class, because we all do it together. So what this means is that, say I post this lesson on Monday, April the 6th, you technically don't have to get this lesson done until the end of the week. I'm going to recommend against that because there are going to be other lessons that are released throughout the week, and there's going to be some kind of activity that is graded at the end of the week as well, which means that if you leave everything until Friday and you do that for all of your courses, you're going to have a lot of work to do on Friday. So I highly recommend that whenever you see an announcement from me posted and it's asking you to either fill out a form or go through an activity or even read through a PowerPoint or a set of Google Slides, you do it as soon as you can, so that you're kind of you're creating a checklist of things that you've done, so you don't have to kind of pile them up until the end of the week and get them all done at once. Today's lesson's pretty straightforward. You've done stuff like this in class, and luckily I kind of prepared some of you for this type of learning where it's relatively independent. I know some of you enjoy this and some of you don't, but it is kind of the way that the school year is going to proceed, so be ready for it. There is a Google Slides presentation posted on Google Classroom in the announcement. There is also a Google form that you have to fill out, and I'm just making this brief video so that I can kind of show you these things and briefly talk about them before you jump into them. With the Google Slides presentation that has been posted, it's called Landform Creation and Erosion. We're picking up right where we left off from before the March break. So if you need to, I would recommend that you review your old notes so that this content doesn't just kind of come at you from nowhere. It has been scaffolded so that we're still learning the things that we learned prior to the break. The slides are set up in the same way that we would normally experience them in a class. There's an agenda, there's learning goals, and there's some tips for you if you don't like independent learning, to kind of try and slowly become an independent learner for this school year. We've been hit with an unexpected change in the way that we have to address the curriculum. So please be aware that a lot of responsibility as a student is going to fall on your shoulders. The rest of the slides pertain to the lesson. So I'm slowly, throughout this lesson, talking about land formation and land erosion and all of the different things that cause these natural geologic processes that ultimately end up in the creation of land. What I would recommend that you do as you go through this lesson is, if you want to do it digitally, cool. You can have another tab open, perhaps a Google Doc, and you can take your own notes about this material. Not everything on these slides is incredibly important for you to know as far as what should be in your notes, and I've tried my best to bold and color the things that I think are the most important parts of each slide, so feel free to take those away. Or continue note-taking in the way that you would be doing at school, so with a binder, a pen, and paper. And I think that the more you contribute to your binder as far as an organized set of notes, the more likely it is that you'll be ready for further assessments and evaluations that come in the semester. Once you have finished taking notes about this slide presentation, I'm going to recommend that you then go to the Google form. You do this after you've read this and studied it for a bit, because there is a Google form that you have to complete. It is called Landform Creation and Erosion Check-in. Please note that it says this is mandatory. You have to do this to check your understanding of the lesson from the Google Slides. You're going to have to put your full name in here. And then there are a series of, I think, roughly 6 questions that you have to fill out answers to. Now remember, this is stuff that you need to get done before the end of the week. I would highly recommend that you treat this as if it's a lesson being delivered in class. Whenever the announcement is posted, you should probably try to get that stuff done as soon as you can so that you're not piling up the amount of work that you have to do at the end of the week. It's going to collect your email so that I know who's done it and who hasn't. I'm also collecting your name. So again, that stuff is for me to track whether or not you're completing these things. If you don't get them done, I'll probably send you an email. If I don't hear from you after that, an email is likely going home to a parent or a guardian. You need to stay on top of these things as an independent learner, so I highly recommend that you do them when you receive them. That's all you're going to hear from me for today for this lesson. The next lesson might not come out tomorrow. It might be on Wednesday, potentially Thursday. Based off of what we've been told by the school board and the school, I'm just letting you know that you might not receive a lesson every single day, but you will receive the same rough amount of content per week. For now, focus on this particular slideshow, create your own notes from it, and then after you've done that, go to the Google form, fill that out, and submit it to me. I hope to chat with some of you soon. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video. Go learn some stuff about geography. Have a good day.